Hey guys, welcome to the biggest week in trading history, right? So this is going to be the elections week. It's 2nd November. It's going to be really exciting. And I just want to share with you some of the trades I actually placed, some live trades I actually placed last week in preparation for this week as we move forward with the elections, all right? So first thing, last week, there was a very big movement in this particular stock. I'm going to share my screen and actually show you all what I'm talking about, right? So what I'm actually going to be sharing with you all very simply is last week, we saw a massive sell-off in Twitter, all right? The stock dropped nearly about 16%. It was pretty huge, was pretty down massive, right? And, the reason why very simply was because, you know, well, the growth was not as expected. The number of, the ad revenue actually grew, right? Ad revenue actually grew, engagement actually grew, but however, the engagement, the expectations were not actually met. And because of that, stock price dropped actually pretty massively. Let me show you all the charts so you all actually get a brief idea of what I'm talking about. All right. So if you all actually look at the chart, this is Twitter, right? So Twitter, you all can actually see massive big gap down. Actually came down below the EMA 50 as well, right? So hey, do I see an opportunity? Well, let me just share with you all. To be honest, for me personally, I don't use Twitter. I'm not a big Twitter fan, right? But because I just don't use Twitter, right? However, uh, because of this Twitter sell-off, there was obviously a sell-off as well, which happened on Facebook, right? Facebook also had a massive red candle, and you can actually see that it dropped below the EMA 50. And as a result of this big red candle, implied volatility actually spiked. So you can actually see that implied volatility right now is at 0.5. And that means that the premiums are a lot higher, right? So I really like the sound of that. So I took advantage. If you all can actually see in terms of FB, you all can actually see that there was huge opportunity in terms of premiums available. So I took advantage of that by selling out of the money puts to collect some very decent premiums, a few $100. I sold 230 puts. Why did I choose 230 puts? Very simply, I'm selling puts at support line, so around 230, 240. That's essentially what I did to collect some really juicy premiums. Premiums are sky high, so I'm taking advantage of that. So I placed trades on Facebook. That's number one. I also happened to buy, uh, it's not exactly the best time to go and buy calls, right? Not exactly the best time to go and buy calls. So what I did was I actually sold puts. However, just to be very upfront, I also did buy calls, right? But it was a very small position. It was just a very small position. So I actually placed trades on Facebook to buy calls as well. And typically I buy calls at the money. All right. So again, it was 21st January 2022 for 1 year. I actually bought a call at 260, and to hedge it simply because the volatility is very high. I sold a short-term call option as well. All right. So these are the trades that I actually placed on Facebook. That's number one. All right. And the next thing which I want to tell you is this. Obviously, since there was a very big tech sell-off, you can actually see, right? If you actually look at QQQ, you can see that this is basically the ones who track tech, for example, the tech ETF. You can see that there was a big sell-off. But again, this is something that I've been trading for a long time. So if you look at um, TQQQ, all right, so this is the ETF, which is a 3x leverage, right? So again, this moves up and this moves down pretty fast. Okay, so you got to be wary. But again, whenever it comes down like this, you have tremendously interesting premiums. So if you actually have a look at TQQQ and you actually look at 20th November, for example, even with 19 days out, you see tremendously high premiums, way out of the money, right? So you're able to sell puts, you're able to sell puts way out of the money at like 80 bucks, way below the EMA 200 at 80, $90. And that's what I took advantage of as well, to actually sell puts to collect good premiums on TQQQ. It's something that I really like to take advantage of, especially when there's a tech sell-off, right? So whenever there's a tech sell-off, immediately I look at TQQQ to take advantage of good premiums. You can actually see that it's kind of hit support, right, which is at 106, right? A little bit more to actually sell off, right? So I took advantage by selling out of the money. Okay, so again, this is one thing you can do whenever implied volatility is sky high. All right, so that's basically another thing I took advantage of. Another option position I took advantage of, which I want you all to actually have a look. This is personally a stock idea that I like, right? That is Jumia, right? So after many days of up, finally it took a little bit of a breather, right? Took a bit of a breather and actually came down. Jumia, right? It came down to about $15 after hitting highs of about $18 or so. It took a breather, 15 bucks. I really love this. This is the biggest e-commerce play in Africa. I see good long-term potential growth, and man, you look at the implied volatility is just high for this one. So this is a play which I love trading options on. I trade far the money, 12 puts, 11 puts, and collect some very decent premium. All right. So obviously we're in a selling environment, and I want to share with you something. In this kind of environment where the volatility is very high, what you want to be doing is you want to be a seller of options to basically be collecting good premiums. Okay. So I shared with you three trade ideas that I actually took, right? Three trade ideas that I actually took, which would make me some very decent money for sure. Another one which I took advantage of, just to share with you, and this is a play that I'm very bullish about, is SE. All right, it's actually SE. So let me just share with y'all SE, and this is for those of y'all who don't know, this is very simply the Shopify. No, not the Shopify, Shopee, right? Shopee, Garena, all of them is under SE as well. Tremendously high premiums, right? So I took advantage by selling out of the money at 130 put, right? So I sold a 130 put. So again, collecting very decent premiums and loving it. All right. So that's essentially the trades that I took. And again, guys, this is my first round of shopping to collect really good premiums. And what I'm expecting is, let's see what happens, right? So tomorrow on 3rd of November, if there's a big sell-off, right? If there's a big sell-off, I will go for shopping round number 2, right? So again, get ready your shopping baskets, but get ready to shop in phases, right? So in the stock market world, you can't just go shopping on one day. You got to plan your shopping accordingly, right? So last week with the big sell-off on Friday, I went for shopping round number 1. Let's see how it moves today or tomorrow. And if there's a big shopping season again, then we go into place a little bit more trades. Make sure you follow me on my next video tomorrow, where we'll actually be sharing a little bit more about what are my different stocks that I'm actually shopping and getting advantage of, right? But right now, I want to actually invite you guys, all right? For those of you all who are watching, I want to actually invite you guys to come for this session, which is a very important session. And that session, very simply, is the presidential election night. So we're going to be trading live on the presidential election night throughout the night. Starts at 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. Tomorrow, Singapore time, right? So if you want to sign up for it, it's tinyur.com/election night trading. Make sure you sign up for it. I'll be showing you exactly how to trade live, what are the trades you're going to be placing live, how we actually take advantage of the huge movement that will very likely happen in the markets. And we're having a watch party to actually watch, and you guys will learn so much from this one event, right? It's completely free. So if you want to learn how the traders make crazy amount of money, I'll be actually sharing live with live trades, all of it. It's going to be absolutely mind-boggling. So make sure you sign up, tinyur.com/election night trading. And once you do sign up, you'll also have a special link which you can actually share with your friends. And if you refer the most number of friends, the winners of this will actually receive some tremendously amazing prizes as well, which includes Netflix, Baba shares, all of that stuff, right? Exciting stuff. So make sure you sign up and share with as many people as possible with regards to what you are with regards to this trading event night. All right. So again, guys,
data connection reestablished.
I hope you guys make sure you sign up for this and get signed up, and I'll see you all on my next video.